there's something very special about these old broads. So it kind of breaks my heart a bit to see that it's not the most loved film in the world. It hasn't got the best ratings. It's 5.8 out of 10 on IMDb, 44% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a wonderful film, and I wish that more people talked about it. I'm not going to spoil what happens in it. I will try my best to not spoil what happens in it, and I'm just trying to work out where the negative comment could be. I think maybe it's a bit over the top in certain aspects so that it becomes unbelievable, and maybe that's where some people might have an issue. But I personally don't have any issues with this, and mainly because it's just gorgeous. So this was released in 2001, and it's directed by Matthew Diamond and written by Elaine Pope and none other than Carrie Fisher. Straight away, that got me hooked. But the reason that I wanted to watch this, and before I knew Carrie wrote it, was because Debbie Reynolds is in it, and so is Elizabeth Taylor. Now, considering Carrie's husband, Eddie Fisher, left Debbie Reynolds to be with Elizabeth Taylor, it's quite an odd film to watch. And I think it's good that they can act together and they look great on screen. I don't know what their relationship was like in real life, but on screen, wonderful. So I'll read the description to you from IMDb, which I think is pretty accurate. And I will say these characters are kind of playing almost caricatures of themselves in a way. So it says here, a 40-year-old movie's re-release is a hit, and there's focus on the three main actresses. The adopted son of one has to make these old broads attend a show together. One problem, they hate each other. So they used to all be in a film together, very successful. They went their separate ways, and over the years they've been quite free to say negative things about each other, and they're no longer the best of friends. And we have four, I feel really weird saying this, but we have four old broads in this, four really iconic classic actresses, three of whom play the actresses in the film, one of whom is the agent. Shirley MacLaine, Debbie Reynolds, and Joan Collins play Kate, Piper, and Addie, and Elizabeth Taylor plays Beryl, the women's agent, who has a big part in getting them together. She is flamboyant, she's very stereotypical of... She kind of reminds me a little bit of Estelle from Friends. She's very out there, she doesn't hold back, a little bit questionable with her actions, and she is quite a stereotype, but it works. It's really interesting to watch on screen. Then our three women all have slightly different personalities. I feel like we have the diva, the man-eater, and Debbie Reynolds. I don't know how I could really describe Piper as a character. She's kind of the safer of the options, I think. Maybe I just wasn't allowing myself to see anything particularly bad in the character. But for me, those are the top cast, and having them all in this film is just... It's splendid. It's so fun to watch these classic actresses who are still acting, but who were all really at their prime around the same time in this fantastic film that celebrates the work that they did in a fictitious way, but it's still hailing these fantastic actresses while also, I guess, slightly poking fun at the way a lot of celebrities kind of turn out. In their heyday, they're loved by everybody, they're friends with everybody, and then as they age, they go away from the limelight, and personalities change, opinions change, faces change, sometimes quite literally. And I don't know if it was meant to be a caricature of Hollywood or aging Hollywood, but I feel like it is, and it is a comedy, and for me it works really well with what I feel like they're trying to do. If that's not what they were trying to do, that's still what I perceived, and that's the way in which I enjoyed it. There are some other, great cast members in this. You really need to have a look at the list before watching it, or after. Let yourself have a surprise. This was apparently Elizabeth Taylor's final on-screen acting role, according to the trivia on IMDb. We get to see them performing again. They are doing they're learning to dance again, and it is quite comical because they can still dance. They are dancers. Certainly Debbie Reynolds is fantastic and has magical feet. but they're obviously not as fast and loose as they used to be with their movements. So it's quite interesting to see why certain age groups in Hollywood are not put on screen as often when it comes to the glitz and the glam. It kind of makes fun of all of that, and it's absolutely splendid. I don't know if it won any awards. IMDb is not telling me that it won any awards. But personally, for me, it ticked all of the boxes. I had no real expectations, but if I had any, it would have exceeded them. It's great fun, it's fabulous, it is a little outrageous, and there are times when the actions of the characters or the development of the narrative is a little bit over the top and unbelievable. But this is the crazy world that these women, these actresses, have grown up in, where things are flamboyant and fabulous and outrageous. So it does work, for the most part. I think it's wonderful. These Old Broads is a fantastic film. Even if it wasn't written by Carrie Fisher, it's beautiful, it's splendid. For me, the highlight is Debbie Reynolds, but all round, it's just utterly sensational.